pointed out in the past in your YouTube videos. I am a staunch supporter of the campaign. I would like to know what would be the first government agency or body that you would love to have abolished and why?
Oh, there's so many. I don't know. I mean, I'd be like a kid in a candy store. I mean, look, a lot of them, a lot of government agencies and departments we don't need. I mean, most of these departments, they're doing things that are not authorized by the Constitution, whether it's the Department of Energy or the Department of Education or Agriculture. I mean, the Department of Energy has only been around since Jimmy Carter, right? So we made it all the way to the Jimmy Carter days without the Department of Energy. So obviously we don't need it to have energy. And in fact, when they established the Department of Energy, they did it for one reason: to reduce our dependence on foreign oil. That was the whole justification. But what is it? 40 years later, when they established it, we were importing 40-something% of our oil. Now it's 70%. It's been a total failure. We're wasting $30 billion a year on that department. Get rid of it. The Department of Education, I mean, they're spending $80 billion. The main thing the Department of Education does is run up the cost of college education by subsidizing all these student loans and making it possible for universities to raise their tuition every year because they know that the students can get the money from the government to pay it. We've got to get the government out of education, at least the federal government at the federal level, and return that money to the states. Look at the Department of Agriculture. The main thing that the Department of Agriculture does is to try to subsidize farmers so that food is more expensive than it would be in a free market. Why are we trying to drive up the cost of food? That makes no sense. And then they do crazy things like, they spend money trying to convince us not to smoke cigarettes. And then they subsidize tobacco farmers to grow the tobacco that they don't want us to smoke. So, I mean, there's so many things that we got to get the federal government out of. The federal government is a gigantic growth industry. And it just goes there, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger because everybody wants to perpetuate their own existence. And, the problem is, with Republicans, see, somebody that really is a Republican, meaning that they want small government, they want free enterprise, they don't like government. They don't want to be there. That's why they're not running. The ones that are running a lot of times it's phony, or if they get there, they quickly become corrupted by Washington because they want to stay there. And the government is great for the liberals, for the socialists. They love it. They think government is the greatest thing. They think that they're there to make our lives better. They don't trust a free market. So they're very happy in government. And politics works for the left. And they can be honest, right? They can do exactly what they promise. They promise more government to get elected, and then they give more government. But the Republicans, they promise less government, but then they deliver more government. So I'm going to go there. Not wanting to be there, wishing I didn't have to go, wishing that somebody else would do it, but I don't see anybody else who is stepping up to do it, who I think can actually get the job done and who understands these problems, and who is willing to spend 6 years trying to solve them.